Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, I am back again. Here is the follow-up video. If you haven't checked out the other video with Cam and the rumors of Lyndall and Josh and her having a secret boyfriend, I'll link that into this particular video. This one is Josh actually having his say in regards to several things. So first, we're going to hear about the fact that he was still legally married when he joined the show. He also kind of goes in about Mel's crew lies about their sex life and then what actually really happened with Lyndall. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another update video for you guys regarding Josh from Married at First Sight Australia. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and unpack all of this. So it looks like our Married at First Sight cast member Josh has opened up about his rocky marriage to the horny bride Melissa in his interview that he recently done. He spoke of even still being legally married when he joined the show, also adding that producers even knew about the pending divorce. He said, and I quote, "Yeah, I was still married to my ex-wife." And he also went on to say that production knew about it. He also said that he told them that his divorce was still going through soon. He also spilled about his post-show romance with Mav's bride Lyndall, which took place in December after she dumped her husband Cam at the final vows.
That leads us to Lyndall. There's rumors that you guys hooked up with the Ivy. Is that true?
Well, I mean, you've gotten probably straight to the point there. We had started having a conversation. I'd had a conversation with everyone as and when they came off the show. The reason being is because I think I was in a unique position when I came off. I was able to talk and able to think about what I had gone through. What I thought that I was going to get versus what I got were two very different things. They were kind of internal, and I was trying to pass that, I wouldn't say wisdom, but, you know, that feedback, that experience on to other people. When I spoke to most of the cast, when I did that, I think it was maybe only Evelyn I didn't talk to. And so I started talking to Lyndall after she had left the show. It was just a friendship that kind of like moved over time. You know, we had, there's a lot of commonality. We share a lot of the same thoughts on things, the same, we think very similarly about a lot of things. And when I look back about my time in the experiment, one of the things I kept on saying was deep conversations, and that's what I really got with Lyndall. I had, you know, we would talk for hours over a couple of weeks, and then we did share, as has been reported, a kiss. Yeah.
Yeah. And is it true you went to Perth?
Yeah, it's true. I went to Perth. Yeah, I did. We had, you know, like, and there had been a lot of things that had happened during the time that we had talked. You know, that I won't really comment on, but I kind of just went to Perth thinking that I'd work out if the relationship was going to kind of happen or not. And then I came back and, yeah, it didn't.
Did you speak to Cam about your relationship or friendship with Lyndall?
I did. I had two conversations with Cam. The first was as it became apparent that the cast was starting to talk about it. At the start of January, I had a conversation with Cam and kind of said, hey, like, it felt like it's something that I owed Cam. Cam and I are really good friends. We've always been really good friends from the moment that we sat on the couch next to each other at the Bucks night. And I felt like I should be honest. But also I would say fairly that the kiss happened in the middle of December, and I didn't tell him until, you know, again, I think it was the first or second week into January. So even that was probably not as honest as I should have been, but there were reasons for that. I was trying to work out whether this was a, you know, I think we were both trying to work out whether it was a real relationship or not. And, you know, we had conversations about there's always going to be a lot of pressure as you start a new relationship post Married at First Sight for your partner, you know, because there's going to be a lot of interest in people seeing you with someone else, and then that's even magnified even more if it's someone else or just another partner on the show. So we had that initial conversation. Cam was incredibly understanding, and then we had a second conversation after, towards the end of January, where I just kind of, brought him up to speed with everything else that had happened.
So, according to Josh, he said that their mental connection drew them closer, which eventually, of course, culminated into them kissing at that MAFS rap party. He even went on by saying, when I look back at my time at the experiment, one of the things that I kept on saying is that he valued the deep conversations. He went on by saying, yes, we did share, as reported, a kiss. And when he was asked about reports how he traveled to Perth in January to meet up with Lyndall, only to discover that she already had a boyfriend, he confirmed allegedly that it was all true. So then he also goes into this whole things with Melissa by slamming Melissa for commenting on his divorce proceedings, emphasizing that he never spoke about his ex-wife on the show and believes that she deserves respect. Now, Melissa had brought up Josh's real-life marriage during an interview with Kyle and Jackie O's show the morning after the two of them left the experiment. And it went on by saying, and I quote, "It wasn't a messy divorce, but even if it was, I think it's pretty despicable for someone that has nothing to do with my relationship with my ex-wife to comment on that the way that she did," as what he told in his interview. He also added that I even never spoke about my ex-wife on the show, and I think she deserves the utmost respect. He went on by saying, I would never talk about her, meaning his ex. His ex did not apply for the show. She didn't go through the experience, and I have the utmost disrespect for Melissa. Now, I would never talk about her private matter like that. And I mean, Josh was really hurt by Melissa's claim that he shed crocodile tears for sympathy. He says, and I quote, "They weren't crocodile tears. They were real tears from someone who had gone through a very difficult experiences." And he said that her remarks were so spiteful, he is still upset by this to this day. Josh denies even having a custom contract. He also debunked claims that this custom contract, quote unquote, that gave him more freedom than other MAFS participants, saying that this claim, of course, was first reported by a gossip website, was described by Josh as being outrageous. He says, and I quote, "No, I never had a custom contract," adding that all he asked of producers was an understanding of when he could see his children. Now, these arrangements are commonplace for parents who appear on the show. He even said, I was told over the 12-week run of the show when I could go back and see my kids, which was essentially every second of the week. That's not a custom contract. That's literally just finding out when I can go and see my kids. Now, he also goes into, on this next video clip, on how his friendships on the show was, especially when it's dealing with other members of the show.
It's very much boys versus girls.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that theme this season?
Yeah, I do think that, I think the overarching theme this season, yes, there's probably outliers, but I do think that this season they probably tried to explore the toxicity of men. I feel, whether rightly or wrongly. I think knowing what I know about last season was very much around Dom versus Olivia, and that's the toxicity of females, and so they've gone the opposite way this year. Yeah, you know, look, going into the reunion, I could see some pretty fair points from both sides. Again, you know, kind of settling scores. I did think that there were some people that needed to be held accountable, some people that needed to kind of like understand where people were coming from, and I thought that was fair. Whether that ended up being females or males, I didn't think that really mattered. And I think the thing was accountability, that people wanted the other person to kind of like be held to account.
Who do you think deserves better watching the show back?
First and foremost, I'd say Caitlin. Caitlin's a beautiful person inside and out. We've swapped a few texts since, because we left at the same time. So I'd probably say, if I had to say someone, it'd be Caitlin, and then followed by, I think Janelle had a rough go as well. And that's nothing on Adam. I just think that she had a bit of a difficult time. And Jessie, I'd like to see Jessie get a fair shake of it. I think that they were reasonably incompatible, that they just tried to make it work. But yeah, I'd probably say those three. I don't have to go through the whole cast. I mean, those are the three that come to mind.
Yeah, so Josh said that his philosophy pretty much was to try to make friends with everybody on the cast, including the brides and the grooms. But it seemed like, it is what it is, especially when you're working with so many different personalities under this environment. And he was asked a fun fact on who he think would join OF, or OnlyFans, first out of the entire cast, and here's his answer.
Who do you think the first girl will be, or first cast member to jump on OnlyFans?
Well, I mean, I'm aware that, I think I remember reading on Reddit that there's a few people who already have OnlyFans and had to turn them off. I think Harrison may potentially be the first new person, but let's see if he wants to. I mean, he's very outgoing. Yeah, probably Harrison.
As a stripper too.
Look, I've seen it. It's great. He would probably do pretty well, I would think.
So you know what, guys? Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if Harrison was the first one to get an OnlyFans account. He's the villain this season. I guess he can get his notoriety from that, but I guess that remains to be seen. So I thought it was a pretty interesting video. I like to keep you guys updated with everything that's going on. If you haven't checked out that other video with Cam's comments, and then of course Lyndall debunking some of the stuff he had to say with regards to this whole secret boyfriend that she has, and even Josh confirmed it himself. I don't know, Lyndall, you got both Cam and Josh saying the same thing when it comes to him taking a trip to come see you. I don't know. I wasn't there. And of course, all of this information is alleged information. So we got to stay tuned and watch. And remember, the reunion is tomorrow. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about all of this with Josh, and what he had to say about the producers and Melissa and this whole situation with him and Lyndall? Let me know your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this update. Stay tuned for other updates and recaps on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next one. Bye.